Of psychological principles, I want you guys to understand why the techniques I teach you later, why they work. What is it that makes these techniques effective? There are principles that are undergirding and supporting these techniques. The first thing I want to share with you is influencers. So what I mean by that is, what is it that influences someone's behavior or decision-making process? What is it that's going to affect the way they think or decide? One of them is social proof, using group or culture to influence an individual. So let me give you some examples I want you to kind of think and recognize. These happen, you know them, but you're not using them maybe as effectively as you could. Watch this. When someone says, #1 selling car in the United States, what are they using? What's it called? Social. Everybody?
Social proof.
It's called social proof. Well, see, when you say this is the #1 selling car, what are you, by definition, suggesting? Yeah, you can take a spot there or even up here if you like, wherever you like. So what does that suggest simply by saying it's the #1 selling car? What does that tell me then about my decision? Where am I at?
It's a great decision.
Why is it a great decision?
Everyone else is.
Because everybody else. The only way something becomes the #1 selling anything is because more people want it than that don't want it. Does that make sense? And now, watch this. Some people are influenced by social proof. And so they make decisions based on the input or influence of others. How do you find that out, though? Like, what could you ask or what could you look for? What would be a clue, a pattern, that would indicate this person is influenced by social proof? What would be some things?
How he's dressed.
How would that be an indicator? What do you mean?
If he's wearing a polo shirt, he's influenced by the style.
He's influenced by the style. Well, in fact, style is always some form of social proof, isn't it? Because by the way you dress, you're associated with a certain class, and you're wanting to be perceived a certain way by the world because of the way that you dress, right? So when you're a preppy, right, what are you doing? You're trying to say, look at me this way, right, because I'm part of this class of people. So that is absolutely influenced by that. But what are some other things that people will say or do that would give you a clue? Well, let's put it this way. What if you asked a customer, let me ask it this way, kind of frame it. What if you asked the customer, have you done much research on the vehicle?
Well, my friend has one.
Oh, what was that?
My friend has one.
My friend has one. What does that indicate right there? Social proof, right? That the fact that their friend had one influenced their desire to take a closer look at it. Once you can tell someone is influenced by social proof, what should you begin to stack? What should you begin to talk about? Social proof. What are some practical examples of social proof? Give me an example of social proof that you can use as a salesman. J.D. Power. Consumer reports. Safety. Right, safety. What about this? How many of you right now, as a professional salesperson, have some form of an evidence manual? Right now, that features, let me be clear, it features pictures and testimonials from customers and of customers about you. Who has that right now in their book? Okay, two. That's 4% of salespeople. So watch this. If you wanted to have a competitive advantage in the marketplace, and you now know that on average 4% of people have this, and you then add yourself to that 4%, are you putting yourself above, or at least giving yourself an added tool that the 96 don't have? See, I had at my desk an evidence manual about that thick, filled with pictures of me and my customers shaking hands. And it had their name. I wrote their name and what car they bought and the date. Pictures of me and my customers taking delivery of that vehicle. Letters from my customers. Cards from my customers in my evidence manual. Whenever I met somebody that I could tell was influenced by social proof, one of the things I would do is on purpose consciously give them an opportunity to review that, and I'd excuse myself. I'd say, folks, I got to check on something real quick. I don't want to leave you alone. Give me a second. I grab my manual, put it in front of them, and say, take a look. I put my heart into it. I'll be back. And I go away. And when I go away, what would they do? Flip through. And because they are influenced by social proof, what do they start to do? Read the letters. Look at the pictures. And every once in a while, not a lot, but every once in a while they'd see somebody they recognized. What happens to me in their mind when they see that?
Credibility.
Credibility. Why? Social proof. You have to ask yourself, what is your social proof? See, Bob Loddick is a salesman in Hawaii. He's a salesperson that I coach. Bob Loddick, as an internet manager, didn't have his own web presence. I thought that was a shame. I think everyone here should have a web presence. You can go to YouTube and you can look up Bob Loddick on YouTube, and you know what you'll find? Stacks of video testimonials of his customers. So when he gets an email lead now, here's what he says. He says, I'm going to set an appointment for you for tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I have one condition to keep in this appointment. I ask one thing in return. Do not come in until you click on this link. I will ask you if you did. And it's a link to his YouTube channel.
How do you spell that?
Bob Laudick, Laudick. In fact, if you have a smartphone, I'll give you permission to do so right now. Please get out your smartphone, go to Google, and type in Bob Laudick. B-O-B-L-A-U-D-I-C-K. Do it on your smartphone. You can do it now. Take a second. I just want you to look it up and see what happens. Somebody who gets there, tell me what you see when you get there.
Good guy.
What do you see?
Type 4 letters in, his name pops up and says where he lives. and
Thank you. Do you know what that is? Do you know what it takes to become that searchable by Google? What do you see when you get there? Scroll down. What do you see?
YouTube videos.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, what did you just say? A ton of videos. Bob Laudick is my student. Bob Laudick said to me, John, I want to grow my business. How can I do that? I said, social proof. Hawaii specifically culturally is very, if you will, ethnocentric. They're very, if you will, very focused on their internal culture. Outsiders aren't received as well. Does that make sense? So he has pages of testimonials from Hawaiians talking about how Bob gave them the aloha experience, which is the experience filled with love. So when Hawaiians see that and hear aloha about Bob, they get excited about coming to see Bob. Bob sells 50 cars a month. That YouTube page has only existed for, I want to say 9 months. He used to sell 30 a month. So it only took 9 months to get an extra 20 units a month. I know some of you are thinking, John, I was expecting to get 20 more units in 6 months. That's ridiculous if it takes 9. I ain't doing it. I agree, don't. I'm not saying it's going to happen for you. I'm just telling you this man poured effort into it. If you want to see another example, while you're looking at it, I'm going to give you this and then I got to move on. But look at Linda Radu. Linda Radu. R-A-D-U-E. Look at Linda Radu, another student of mine. Somebody who's got Google, type in Linda Radu. Tell me what comes up.
Burnsville.
Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Yeah? You see some reviews?
Dealer Raider.
Yeah? What do you see?
It says, Linda Radu is wonderful. She made my whole car buying experience fun and stress-free.
Yes. Linda Radu came to my class already a top performer. Her previous best was 42 in a month. 42 cars in a month was her previous best. She says, John, I float somewhere in the mid-30s usually. Somewhere in the 30s. 42 was my best. She came out of my class, implemented what I teach on Google to up her Google ability. You say it. Whatever, laughing at me. It ain't easy. Her Google ability upped it 59 and a half cars the very next month after my workshop. 59 and a half. So from 42 to 59 and a half. Not that good at math. It sounds like 17 and a half units. Some of you aren't doing that in a month. She increased hers by that in a month. How did she do that? She became more Googleable. Why? She already had reviews, but what she wasn't doing is using those reviews, her social proof, to her advantage. So here's what Linda does every person she talks to. On the back of her business card, it says, don't take my word for it, Google me. Don't take my word for it, Google me. Thank you right there. You want to, he's like, I can leave the class today, that's a moneymaker.
I mean, that's strong. That's strong.
Don't take my word for it, Google me. I told her, I said, put that on the back of your card, Linda. Put that on the back of your card, see what happens. Watch this. Every person she meets, she hands them a card. Listen, folks, I know it's hard to find a good deal. I know it's hard to find a good car. But you know what's the hardest thing to find? What's that? A good salesperson. And I don't want you to take my word for it. Google me. And if I can help you, let me know. When she's on the phone with somebody, what does she say? Folks, listen, I want to invite you into the dealership, but you don't know me from Eve. Right? You don't know who I am. I'm just a salesman telling you I can help you. Listen, don't take my word for it. Everybody, don't take my word for it. Google me. Some of you are not Googleable. Stop laughing. It ain't easy to say. Right? But you're not Googleable. How do you build that? Here's what you do. Start collecting reviews. Here's what you need to do. Start collecting reviews, and here's the rule. Your review must include your first and last name at least twice in the review. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You want to build a Googleability? You put your first and last name in a review twice in every review. Get your customers to give you reviews. It's not good enough. Some of you are not Googleable because you're not searchable. I'm going to use searchable. You're not searchable. Why? Because they say, Steve did a great job. How many Steves are on the planet? Right? Too many Steves on the planet. Right? So you put your first and last name, you put it twice. Why? Because what Google operates as, it's a text search quantifier. That's what it does. It searches for text, quantifies the results, and presents them to you. So there's social proof. Does everybody see how powerful social proof can be? Everybody here should have a smartphone. If you don't, borrow one from your friend at the dealership. Do not let a customer leave without a video testimonial. Don't do it. What a shame it would be. Obligation reciprocity is another influencer of human behavior. The obligation reciprocity principle says that you're using a sense of indebtedness to cause someone to take action. We all have experienced this in our lives, right? Someone does something for you, so you feel like you got to do something back for them. That's obligation reciprocity. If you've ever helped a buddy move, if you've ever moved a couch up a flight of stairs, you did it because you felt like that friend is giving you value, right? Very hard to get someone, unless you give them value, to move a couch up a stair. Right? If you're paying them, what are you giving them for value? Money. But if you're not paying them, what did you give them for value? Friendship, which is time. Right? Connection. You gave them attention. And for that, they return by moving a couch up a couple flights of stairs for you. Why? Obligation reciprocity. Your customer's no different. I know some of you don't think that your customers are human. I get it. Some of you are going, John, you haven't met my customers. They're not human. So this won't work on them. These are principles that work with like normal people. But my customers aren't normal, John. Every dealership, every salesman tells me, John, you don't understand my customers. You don't understand my dealership. You don't understand my market. Right. No, I do. I understand. Here's the thing. When you add enough value, people feel indebted to obligate and give back. Now, all of you are here for different reasons. Okay? But ultimately, if you're here without being forced to be here, if you're here by choice, you were here because something I gave you, you found valuable enough to trade your time and your money to come to my class. Is that true? If I give enough value, you will give up all kinds of things in return for that value. And that's how you need to be. Your job as a professional salesperson is to outvalue your competition. That's it. You have to ask the question, how can I add so much value to these people that they actually become indebted to me? How do I overwhelm them with value so they actually feel obligated to buy from me? I want my customers to feel bad if they don't. I want them to feel bad. They should be going, we really need to buy from him. And that's how I built my business. Why? Because in my small town, guys, there were 5 salespeople at my dealership. 4 had been there for 10 years. 1 guy had been there for 8 years. There was one last desk at the end. And that was mine. The one that no one could ever survive in. Why? Because you know what I noticed when I walked out to greet people at a store that had 4 guys there for 10 years and 1 guy there for 8 years? What do you think everybody I greeted said? I'm here to see Homer. I'm here to see Dan. I'm here to see Curtis. I'm here to see Joe. I'm here to see. So you know what my opportunities in a small town that would only get maybe on a good day 5 or 6 ups in an entire day? We had 3 days with not a single up on the up log for 3 whole days at my store. Do you know what that feels like emotionally? I'm not talking about you not getting traffic. I'm talking about no one crossed the curb. Right? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, here we are, we wait until we die. Like, amen, that's how I felt. So you staring out there? So we're just going to die? I mean, this is the end, guys. It's been really great, man. It's been great knowing you. Right? So, but seriously, I've been there. I've been there at a store where our big days was if we had 13 ups in a day. That was a huge day for us. So what did I have to do when I got that 1 up? My God. I wasn't, I mean, I needed to sell them a car, but I said, John, you need to overwhelm these people with value. Here's my problem. My problem is I'm in Emporia, Kansas. Here's Kansas City. Here's Topeka. Here's Wichita. These are all 6-figure population towns. Right? They got 5 Toyota stores here. They got 13 Toyota stores here. They got 4 Toyota stores here. And here's me. Toyota, Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Jeep. People come in and say, I want to look at a Toyota Sienna. We're looking at the XLE. We want silver. I say, I have one Sienna. It's black, and it's an LE. But we really want to look at the color. She really wants to look at the color before she does anything. So we're going to go to Kansas City. We're not going to buy anything. We're just going to go to Kansas City and look at some colors. And we'll let you know. You guys ever had that conversation? Right? And you call them 2 days, 3 days, they don't return your call. Finally, you catch them. Why? Because you use somebody else's phone. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Right? Yeah. So what do? You call, and then what do? They say, oh yeah, hey John. Oh, sorry, I've been meaning to call you. Oh, that's great. I've been holding my breath. Right? So what do? So then what do you get? You get what I call the "oh, you did" call. You guys ever had to? So oh, you guys did. Oh, you did. Okay. No. Hey, listen, no, it's great.
Deal I couldn't refuse.
Yeah, no. Hey, listen, don't worry about it, guys. I'm glad you found something. No, I'll be fine. Tell my landlord that you thought I was really nice. I'm sure that'll. Who needs to hear it? You ever been there? Some of you in the room ever been the nice guy? Right? You know what I'm talking about, right? The nice guy who can't sell anything, but everybody's their friend. Everybody likes you. Right? They're all going to come back.
Amen.
So, right, I'm going to teach you how do you be the nice guy but get results, right? How do you be the nice guy and get results? Because ultimately it's about results. I got to pay my bills. So that brings me to the next one. Liking and familiarity. Here's the thing. People are influenced by people they like. Watch this. Relating or being liked by someone in order to make them more agreeable. Here's 2 things you need to write down. Watch this. People are influenced by people. People are influenced by people who are like them. People are influenced by people who are like them. Watch this. Here's the second one. People are influenced by people who are like them, similar to them. Watch the second one. People are influenced by people who like them. People are influenced by people who are like them, and they're also influenced by people who like them. Here is why some of you can't figure out how to sell more cars. You don't like your customers anymore. That's it. You don't like selling. You don't like customers. How do I know? Because I hear the things you say about them. You don't like them. You call them names. You call them rats, flakes, strokes, jerks, idiots. Right? Jackwads, and all kinds of other manner of names. Right? You guys have names for them that don't indicate liking. And here's the problem. You cannot influence somebody to a high level if they don't think you like them. You want to sell more cars? You want to move the needle? Stop not liking your customers and look for things you can like. I had a couple one time at the dealership, and they had these kids, and these kids, I'm fairly certain they intravenously give them Red Bull. I think so. I can't prove it. I wanted to call child services and test it, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Right? So this couple's on the show floor, and these kids are just hurricanes. And I'm trying to close a deal. You guys ever had a customer, you're trying to close a deal with the kids are just all over the place? And this woman is feeling exasperated. And this woman is feeling out of her patience. And what is this woman wanting now more than anything to do? She wants to just what? Go home. Why? Partly because she knows her kids are hellions. Right? And she's embarrassed. Here's what I said. I said, I want you to know how much I really appreciate and love the energy of your kids. It's true. How many of you wish you could bottle that energy because some days you need it? Right? I said, I want you to know how much I really appreciate and love the energy of your kids. Don't you remember when you were unstoppable like that? And she said, well, that was a long time ago. I said, I know, but I just want you to know it's okay that they're being kids. I like their energy. Did not lie to the woman and say I liked them. I do not like those kids. Don't lie. Right? Insincerity. They'll catch you. Don't lie. You're going to make up something, but look for something you can like. Here's what I had one time. I had a customer come on the lot. I'll tell you this story here. I walk out on the lot. This is actually at a dealership, Cape Girardeau. Sorry, dealer, if you didn't show up, your people aren't here, come tomorrow. All right, watch this. I'm out on the lot at Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It's a Toyota Mitsubishi dealership. I did 2 days of back-to-back sales training at the dealership. It's now a Saturday, and